They're testing bold, in-your-face, killing us, and getting away with it. Go ahead.
Well, the President, Obama, with the passage of an executive order number 13521 on November 24th of 2009, he established the Bioethics Committee. Now, the Bioethics Committee, first of all, the website is bioethics.gov, and it's a treasure trove of information if you guys have time to comb through it. There's transcriptions on the sites of all the meetings they've had so far and meetings they've got coming up about all kinds of unbelievable things, such as meeting 4, session 10, they talked about testing directed energy weapons on the population. And, I think it's a kind of a test situation to find out what the population knows about certain things. But on January 6th, Kathleen Sebelius submitted a letter. Now, if you go to the news section under bioethics.gov, on January 11th, I believe it was, they posted the blog about a January 6th letter that came from Kathleen Sebelius. And in this letter, she asked them to convene a panel. Do you want to take this break?
Yeah, we'll go to break and come back with that. Yeah, for those that don't know, bioethics is really just eugenics. And they claim it's the ethics of science. Well, we have the Hippocratic Oath. They've gotten rid of the Hippocratic Oath, and then basically it's the death panels. We'll be right back. It's these quasi-governmental boards. Stay with us. Hello, I'm Alex. Here's another article. I just typed in anthrax vaccine children. And look at this headline. Major drug maker accused of killing 14 trial suspects. Suspects. I guess the children are suspects to be killed. Subjects. And there's a CNN report, Argentina fines drug company over vaccine deaths. And, of course, it's vaccine company coming at you with the anthrax shots. The Nuremberg Code provides ethical guidelines for medical research to protect human test subjects in scientific experiments from injury, disability, or death. But our government violates that. They do it on foster kids, ladies and gentlemen. When you learn that you're seen as lab rats, literally, and that you're seen as scum and trash by the ruling class, and that this is all a big medical experiment, the whole thing, the TV, the fluoride in the water, the GMO, the drugging of school kids, when you wake up to just how horrifying it is, and you learn that they're setting up these death panels, that they're telling doctors what health care you can give people. Bill Gates admits this. Newsweek says the case for killing Granny and shows Granny being unplugged. And now they're going to have the Federal Bioethics Board coming out and saying, yes, we're just going to give your kids shots whether you like it or not. This is an assault. But they've learned to slow kill you. They just shoot you up, screw you up, and kind of walk off giggling. This is how the creepy technocrats hit you and hit you hard. I need to get to other callers, Angie, but finishing up your point about this, go ahead.
Right. Well, so Kathleen Sebelius wrote this letter on January 6th asking the Bioethics Commission to convene a board to review basically how to get around the ethical issues with testing this anthrax vaccine on children. So, and she also recommends that they gather pre- and post-trial information. So she wants them to give her ways to get around the ethical problems with testing the AVA, which is the anthrax vaccine absorbed in the pediatric population. And by the way, it doesn't even prevent them from getting sick if there's an anthrax attack. This is actually, it's not a vaccine, it's more a treatment for what they call post-exposure prophylaxis, which means that it will stop certain symptoms after exposure to the anthrax virus.
But see, they've got a beta test just killing the kids out in the open. The dead mount, the cancer mounts, leading the world in every disease now. And they just sit there with straight faces going, we love you, we love you, we love you. I appreciate your call. It's good to hear from you and the great work you guys are doing. God bless. We're going to go to break for 1 minute and come back with a short 5-minute segment. Then Katherine Albrecht's our guest. We're going to go to Tony, Julio, John, and Mouse, and everybody else that's holding. I'll get to everybody, but I'll get to a few of those calls in the next segment. I've covered some of the news, but there's still a lot of it I've got to go over. I'm going to throw some of this news at Katherine Albrecht and get her take on it. She'll be with us at the 5 after. Briefly, Knowledge is power, and it's important to expose false flag terror. A Noble Lie, Oklahoma City, 1995 is an excellent film, available at Infowars.com. Your purchase supports our broadcast as well. The Deliberate Dumbing Down of America by Charlotte Iserby, back in print. Excellent to give all educators you know, so they understand why they're not allowed to truly educate, but only indoctrinate. We have the new film Indoctrination as well that goes with it. It's excellent. And Bloodlines, the Illuminati. You know, we've got a couple thousand of these, and I thought that would last us a while. But you better order them before we sell out. Bloodlines, the Illuminati's been out of print for a while and been very hard to get. Well, I went ahead and just had a bunch of them printed up with the author. So we have them in stock right now. But at the rate they're going, in 3 or 4 days, they might all be gone. Bloodlines, the Illuminati, available at Infowars.com. Get your copy today before they're gone again. Okay, Katherine Albrecht, expert on different types of globalist tracking grid, is joining us. We've got some breaking news on the Super Bowl I'll cover as well. As soon as Kurt's got his article done, it'll be up at Infowars.com. We're taking your phone calls right now. Tony in Idaho, you're on the air. Thanks for holding.
All right. Hello, Alex. I was just thinking about the tracking mechanisms that they have available. Like, for example, they can track you through a lot of driver's license now. If, God forbid, this does turn into a shooting war, it might be a good idea to dump your wallet, so to speak.
Well, all you got to do is fry the RFID chip that are on them. But I mean, in the future, you're not going to buy and sell without your face scan approving it, which is just a digital, camera. It's going in everywhere. They admit that's their plan. It's always been the plan of this architecture. And the big thing is piling fees on every transaction. They're going to have a global sales tax, national sales tax, carbon taxes. So even when you pay cash, you notice now in Louisiana, they've banned cash for retail sales. Did you see that last year?
Oh, man.
This is all about control, sir.
Yep. Well, yeah, that's true. I mean, it's amazing. One of the things I wanted to say was that in the early 90s, I was with Sam Sherwood's militia in Idaho, and one of his inner circle. One of the things that was brought to our attention was a method for killing heat signature. Basically, you put wear a space blanket underneath an army poncho. Theoretically, it's supposed to kill 90% of your heat signature. God forbid it goes to a shooting war. That'd give the Patriots a hell of an advantage.
No, that's true. They say you can actually take the space blanket and basically sew it in. There's a lot of other ways to do that. And that's why the globalists are moving to drones domestically. I mean, the military has over 20,000 drones, 7,000 plus Predators alone. They're going to the armed systems, the Reapers and others. And they admit they're going to use them domestically against us. Again, an illegitimate criminal government overtaken by foreign banks, engaging in every crime you can imagine.
And one final thing I'd like to say is that I would suggest that every patriot out there, get right with God, get right with Jesus, because if he is with you, who could possibly be against you?
Well, I agree with that, and also make hay while the sun shines. Reach out to everybody. Do banner hangs. Put Infowars.com or other websites on the side of your barn or your house or your business, or out there on the sign in front of your hamburger joint. Make copies of my film, Obama Deception. Follow the Republic Endgame. Give them away free at your restaurant or at your grocery store or at your Five and Dime or at your convenience store, or sell them. Buy them in bulk and sell them, or print up your own pamphlets, hand out your own business cards, do banner hangs on the highway. I mean, there's a lot we can do to really get the word out about what's happening.
Yeah, I loved Endgame. I never realized how rotten Charles Darwin really was until I saw that.
Well, they took out of what Darwin's whole family was, a eugenics family that were all interbreeding to create a master race. The Galtons, the Wedgwoods, the Huxleys, all of them. And, of course, it didn't create a master race. Within 4 generations, most children were stillborn or seriously mentally retarded. But it did create a few idiot savants that did survive, because they did originally come out of very smart families. But 4 families all intermarried in the test. And, and they created social Darwinism for eugenics out of it. And they developed a plan for the scientific dictatorship. And that's what we're under, brother.
I know. I hear you. And I just wish there was some way people could, say, just pick a day in which they can all, at noon, just stick their head out a window and just scream, no new Ron Paul or something like that. You know, just make it really known that they don't approve of this Newt Gingrich. I mean, you know what I mean, don't you?
What do you mean, don't approve of Newt Gingrich? Absolutely. I can't stand Newt Gingrich. I mean, he's a globalist demon. Appreciate the call. Now, I know that we've got Julio, John, Jay, Mouse Link, Alex, and others, and I'm going to get to all of you before Katherine Albrecht leaves us. She'll be able to comment on anything you bring up. She's a talk show host in her own right. Katherine Albrecht is the host of the Dr. Katherine Albrecht Show, and she is a highly effective privacy campaigner, a sought-after public speaker and technology expert, and the author of numerous books and videos, a popular media commentator and dynamic radio personality. And she, of course, came to prominence writing a book about and exposing RFID and the tracker systems that basically turns the real world into like a Google search engine where all products have these little tracker systems in them. Her unique brand of knowledge coupled with a passion for truth and freedom have earned her a devoted following, and she joins us for the rest of the hour. And we also, again, as I said, have your calls there. But the point is, the Internet is obviously just a computer communication system, but now it's being wired into all your appliances, your television sets, your smartphones, and it's controlling the architecture of our technological development. And these global corporations and governments get together on record and conspire to make you pay for Trojan horse surveillance systems in the products you purchase. And we've gone from government denying that they're spying on us to now just saying, yeah, we're spying on everything. I mean, you know, take Pennsylvania a few years ago. People didn't believe that when it first came out in the mainstream news. Oh, yeah, the school announced and tattled on themselves the laptops, the free laptops that taxpayers pay for. Nothing's free. That we send home with you. We're watching you in the shower. We're watching you in your bed. We're watching you at home. We're watching you. And they sent the police after some kid because they were eating Skittles and thought they were pills. So government is announcing more and more on itself. And the big issue is, the plan is face scanning, thumbprinting to buy and sell, part of national and global sales taxes, VAT and carbon tax. This is all announced. And then they're going to add fines and fees and other rags. You think $5 to use your smart card's bad for Bank of America or your debit card. Just wait. Everything with RFID, everything face scanned by law. Look at Louisiana saying you can't use cash in secondhand transactions. All of you are criminals. You've got to go to a big box store, cracking down the lemonade stands, the Girl Scout cookies, arresting people selling lemonade, arresting kids playing tag, arresting kids for running on the schoolyard. Just type it into the search engine, folks, and you will see Associated Press going, you know, is it good to arrest 5-year-olds for running on the playground? I showed it to you last hour. This is really happening. And on the backs of all of this, just out today, London Guardian, Thailand backs Twitter censorship policy. The government becomes first to publicly endorse Twitter's decision to permit country-specific censorship of content. So if the West wants to overthrow their old dictator in Egypt or another dictator like Assad in Syria, oh, they're all for the rebels that are CIA funded on record. I'm not saying I like Syria. I'm not saying I like Hosni Mubarak. The point is it's selective. They let them use it. But then, and criticize Mubarak for